I just finished public school, I'll tell you why it's great. Waking up at 6 a.m. to pledge allegiance to the state. Yeah, it's true, I got my public school blues.
Would you have signed the National Defense Act as written?
Yes, I would have, and I do believe that it's appropriate to have in our nation the capacity to detain people who are threats to this country, who are members of al-Qaeda. Look, you have every right in this country to protest and to express your views on a wide range of issues, but you don't have a right to join a group that has challenged America and has threatened killing Americans, has killed Americans, and has declared war against America. That's treason. And in this country, we have a right to take those people and put them in jail.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2-minute statement from Romney, and we're going to see if he requires any false logic to get through it. If there is an example of logical fallacies, we'll stop, we'll talk about it, and then we'll go back to the video.
Would you have signed the National Defense Act as written?
Yes, I would have, and I do believe that it's appropriate to have in our nation the capacity to detain people who are threats to this country, who are members of al-Qaeda. Look, you have every right in this country.
Wow, I bet you didn't think we'd be back so quick, but here we are. He's already gotten started. Sometimes a professional liar can use one word or one phrase that entirely misdirects the conversation, that gets the audience to focus in a different place entirely than where they should be focused. So the question is about the Defense Authorization Act, something that stands to affect American citizens. It could have dramatic consequences for American citizens. Romney doesn't want to deal with that question. So the first logical fallacy that he uses, and it's a big one, he's going to need more than just one, but the first one is important. It's called equivocation. Here is where a speaker changes definitions halfway through a discussion. Now, of course, Mitt Romney doesn't even wait for halfway. He's got to do it like in the first 10 seconds. So he can then make the statement that he wants to make, so he can talk about what he wants to talk about. So the equivocation is, it's a question about American citizens and the impact on American citizens of the Defense Authorization Act. He shifts the definition away from like who is affected by the NDAA. It's not American citizens. This is all about al-Qaeda. So that the targets of the Defense Authorization Act is no longer American citizens. Very clever, just one phrase and it's done. Now it's al-Qaeda. You notice too that he'll jump right into the next thing he wants to say. He doesn't even pause for a second to give the audience time to think about what he just did.
Who are members of al-Qaeda. Look, you have every right in this country to protest. And in this country, we have a right to take those people and put them in jail. And
within this 20 seconds, he then goes on to say, in this country, we have a right. We is an equivocation again. We is a word that's used when you're talking about a group that you're a part of with other people in that group, usually. Okay, so by we here, it's an equivocation because what he means is the government has a right, which doesn't make any sense, but the government can do these things to you. Oh, but wait a minute, we're not talking about you anymore because of the first equivocation.
To detain people who are threats to this country, who are members of al-Qaeda. Look,
when we were talking about the impact of this NDAA on you, he used the equivocation shifting you to al-Qaeda. And now he's using equivocation again to shift the government to you.
And in this country, we have a right.
So he's made a discussion that is objectively the government against you into all of us against al-Qaeda.
Public school, you keep me in good mental health, 'cause without you